College basketball is back. Dang, it feels good. I feel like betting like 30 games tonight and just be like, whatever, YOLO, we'll figure it out. But I urge you not to do that. This is a very qualitative slate as you're relying on all these preseason forecasts and a lot of narratives out there. A few personnel moves. Obviously, the transfer portal is bigger than it's ever been. It's just a lot of guessing, in my opinion. I prefer quantitative slates where Paddy runs a model on recent efficiencies. Recent games, there are none. So, yeah, kind of stuck with forecasting a bit. So, I wanted to show my face. I got a lot of questions in the offseason like, hey, is cutting down the nets back? Is Paddy back? When does Paddy start? All that sort of stuff. So, Paddy needs at least like 5 to 8 games to have something there. And I feel it runs best late in the year. But look, I still know the game and I trust my resources. So I'll list a few of them throughout this show. And then I will go ahead and share the spreadsheet I worked off of for preseason stuff with you guys. So I don't know. Good luck. Do whatever you want to do tonight. I'm not playing very heavy. I do have like 6 or 7 out there right now. But yeah, if you're new, welcome. Last year, 536 and 429 for a 55.5% cover rate. All verifiable on BetStamp. User ID is CDTN. If you want to follow me in the marketplace, do whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. And then Twitter at CDTN_Paddy. That is new this year. And I'll always have the sheet there as well as in the comments of this video. But from a frequency standpoint, this first month, you may see a video like once a week. Doesn't mean that won't be betting. I'll post all bets on BetStamp. This is a big commitment when you look at the next 5 months ahead of you. It's like, man, I can't do that daily. But certainly will ramp up as the season goes on and still have content available on these other sites as we progress through the season. So here is what I'm working off of right now. I'll kind of show you, this is just the schedule, road team, at home team. This YOY is year over year Bart Torvik. Basically like how much has Torvik knocked or adjusted a team's efficiency margin. And that's for the road team. This is for the home team. So I just do that as a check of like, man, Bart's really taking a stand here that this team is tanking or this team is like ascending. And it just helps me be a little careful with how I evaluate that. So basically I had an opening line. I won't normally do that, but I think it's important on this first slate because there's so much line movement that you need to understand what the opener was. And in most cases, I'm doing the opposite of chasing. Like if a line moves 3 points, I'm not grabbing the tail end of that. I would do just the opposite. I think the lines are very fragile at this point. The slightest of sharp bets will move. And I don't know. You just think if a really solid bettor wins 55, 56% of their games, book values their opinion, and they react by moving a line like 4 points. If you're going to beat the opening line like 55% of the time, give me 4 points, and what's that 55% become? Much less. So I'm not scared of fading or going against line movement at this time of the year. So open and current, and then this is Torvik's line. You can go to barttorvik.com. I just compiled it all in the spreadsheet. Same with KenPom. So what I'm looking for in these cases is what's the consensus between the two sides. So I just average those and I compare it to the current line and I sort by value. I mean, this isn't rocket science. This is the best thing I have found for early in the season before I have actual games played. Now what I want to point out is I'm careful with matchups. I trust other resources. So Jordan Majeski, who does staring at the floorboards, he does write-ups on lots of games. I think he did like 30 plus for this first slate. And I don't know, he scared me away from like Queens against Marshall, just from a tempo standpoint, transition defense for Queens. But overall, I'm also looking to see are Torvik and KenPom in alignment. So let's just look at this Arizona Nickel State game. you've got KenPom at 26, Torvik at 15. So combined, they're at 20, but they're nowhere close to each other in terms of forecasting this game. So I would not be interested in that game. Whereas you look at Nebraska, Omaha, and Kansas, you got 29.6, got 31. Like, they're pretty much in alignment around 30 points. And we're getting 34.5, so that's enough value for me there. So look, it's this early in the year. I don't want to end up with a giant card. I do play a little lighter, but yeah, this is a way that I track it. So the ones in yellow I've played so far, and I'll just kind of explain why. So K-State against UT RGV. Line is 17.5. Bart had it more at 32. KenPom 21. So in either case, we've got a full possession greater in favor of K-State. Evan Maya was on the same side. If you look at Haslam, he was right there too. So it's like, look, all the people I trust say Kansas State is in a good spot. The reason Bart's line is so much higher than the others is he really has a dip for Rio Grande Valley. But either way, there's enough value there that I'm like, hey, let's go with K-State. It's opening night. Similar story with Pitt and Tennessee Martin. So the line did go down a bit, but that pushed it down into a range that I was comfortable with. So I'm on the Pitt side. Big dog here, Pine Bluff against TCU. So line's 35.5. Both Torvik and Bart are seeing that as a little bit closer. Always dangerous when you're betting these ginormous spreads, but I see value there. Manhattan and VCU. Manhattan fired the coach at a really, really bad time. There's just a lot of chaos in the program right now. So what that did is that pushed that opening line up. And at 22.5, I mean, VCU, I think, won one game by more than 22.5 last year. One of the main reasons is while elite defensively, this team can really struggle offensively. I do not think Manhattan wins this game, but I do think we can keep her under 20. VCU, a poor offensive team, actually lost some offense from that poor offensive team. And you just see kind of the references here. A lot of people I trust have that closer to 16. So that was enough value there. Baylor already played. They waxed Mississippi Valley State, didn't play that game. Marshall and Queens. So Queens enters D1 ball. Line is currently Marshall by 5. Going to be a lot of points in this game, but Majeski, in staring down the floorboards, cited the transition defense being a major concern for Queens, and that's enough to get me off that game. But I do find that kind of interesting that, Marshall's got some brand recognition, made to a few NCAA tournaments, high-profile coach, and then you have this team that people are like, so is that a Division I team or what? So I have Torvik and KenPom both around a pick'em while getting 5. That was interesting to me. But yeah, I do see the transition defense concerns, and I just don't want to be on that side of a run out. Tennessee Tech, I'm just staying away from that. Bart or Torvik and KenPom were pretty far apart there, and I don't know. They're on the Tennessee Tech side, but yeah, I'll just kind of pass on that one. Cornell, Boston College. It's okay. Boston College down 2 key contributors that produced the line movement. I just think it's probably fair line movement. I don't know. Like, it's a fair play, but not enough for me to be excited about. I am on the Omaha side of Kansas. Rest in peace when that's like 27 points at halftime. But that's just kind of the angle I'm taking today. The only other game at the top that I'm really considering based on spread and Torvik and KenPom is Eastern Washington and Santa Clara. So consensus line is 6.5. And Torvik has it closer to 12. KenPom 9. So there's some value there. Santa Clara lost some scores from last year. They did bring in a transfer that will help. But yeah, I'm just not sure there. I was kind of an Eastern Washington backer most of the season last season. And again, this is narrative heavy when it comes to this stuff. Other game I've bet is Air Force Bowling Green. Some sharp people that I trust are on that side, and just having that close to a pick'em, getting more than a possession was enough for me. So overall, that's what it looks like on my end, which is Manhattan, Pitt, Air Force, Omaha, Pine Bluff, and K-State. I will post this spreadsheet. You can do whatever you want with it. Again, you'll see a little bit of me here and there, and then as the season ramps up, we'll get back to daily. So it's great to be back. Good luck, everybody.